So guys, one way to keep your Apple Watch Ultra looking fresh and new is by swapping out the watch band every now and then. I have a couple of really cool ones I want to show you today for all kinds of different scenarios and occasions. Let's ramble.
Hold up, things go wild when I pull up. They all on me like it once.
Hey, what's up guys? It's great to see you all again, and if you're new here, I'm Patrick and this is where I ramble about tech and other stuff. So yeah, if you've been to the channel before, I've made no secret about how much I love my Apple Watch Ultra. I think it's the single best product Apple has released last year, and I've done several videos on this channel professing my undying love for this thing. Now, it is my opinion that if you really want to get the most out of this watch, you need to wear it every single day. It's how it learns the most about you, and it's how your stats become most valuable, especially if you use it to keep track of your health and fitness. But as with anything in life, if you use it often enough, it can start to feel a bit stale. A great way for me to keep enjoying the look of my Apple Watch Ultra is by swapping out the bands from time to time, whether it's for a specific occasion or whether I just feel like something different. So I started collecting some bands, and after using them for a bit, the bands I'll show you today are the ones I like wearing the most for different kinds of reasons. So let's start off with the ones made by Apple and then move on to some really nice third-party options. Give you some thoughts on each band, some pros, some cons, and maybe it will help you a bit with your own purchasing decisions. Right, so let's start with the most obvious one, and that is of course the iconic orange Alpine loop. This is the band that was shown the most throughout the initial presentation by Apple. It matches perfectly with the big orange action button on the watch, and it's definitely the flashiest one of the bunch. You see this band, you immediately know it's the Apple Watch Ultra. I do like this band, but when I ordered my Ultra, I had to accept that it came with a small version, as it was the only option that was still available to be shipped on release date. And as a tech channel, of course, I wanted to be able to make the video while the topic was still hot, so I went for that. Needless to say, it's way too small for my wrist, but that did make me realize that these hooks can damage the casing if you're not careful. I did a little YouTube short on this, and let's just say the responses were mixed. They ranged from "thank you for sharing, you saved me from getting the wrong size," to "what the heck are you talking about micro scratches for? This is meant to be a rugged watch, you absolute clown." You can decide which camp you belong to. I just wanted you to be aware of the fact that it can scratch your shiny new watch. I should have ordered a large one, which is the correct size for my wrist, but I couldn't bring myself to order the same color twice, so I decided to get the green one. And I actually really like this color, maybe even more than the orange. It looks stylish and a little less loud. Of course, the buckle can still scratch your watch, but because this one is not too small, it's much easier to put on and take off, so scratching it becomes far less likely. What I don't like about these bands is that they can get grimy quite easily, and most of all, that when they get wet after a swim or something, they stay wet for a long time, and I really hate that feeling. So for that reason, the next band I got was the Ocean Band in Midnight. It's great for the gym and great for swimming because it's rubber, so it will dry immediately. This band is way more comfortable than I thought it would be, and I really like the thickness of the band because it makes the case look like it's synced in with the band instead of sticking out like it does on the slimmer bands. I don't have any issues wearing this throughout the night because it's quite comfortable and it's a snug fit. Because apart from the 11 holes to choose from, it also stretches quite a bit, so it's easy to find that perfect fit. This is actually the band I wear 80 to 90% of the time, simply because I do go to the gym most days, and this is just perfect for that. Speaking of the gym, a quick shout out to our channel partner Kaisuku for making my favorite iPhone case for the gym. I like using my iPhone in conjunction with the watch to monitor my workouts, and this Casekoo magic stand lets me set up my phone anywhere, so I don't need to look for stuff to prop it up, and when you're done, the ring folds back completely flush with the case. This is a MagSafe phone case with 48 magnets, so it's incredibly strong, and you can use it with all your favorite MagSafe accessories as well. It's also great for watching a bit of content, and when I get back to the office, it allows me to use my phone as my productivity sidekick. These cases are also slim and durable, so I can highly recommend them. Use the link in the description to get 10% off your purchase. Anyway, back to the Ocean Band. The downside is that it's not super easy to put on or take off, so if you do have to take off your watch a lot, this might not be the best one for you. Which brings me to the next and final Apple original band, and that is the Trail Loop. To me, this is the least appealing one to look at, but it's so comfortable. I've described this in previous videos as the hoodie of watch bands because it's just so damn comfortable. It closes using Velcro, so it's by far the easiest to put on and take off, and you can adjust it to your wrist with more precision than any of the other bands. It's very thin, so the watch case will stick out, but if it's comfort you're looking for, this is definitely the one for you. Now, I know people say you cannot wear the Apple Watch Ultra to a formal event, but I respectfully disagree. This beautiful leather watch band is made by a company called Harbour London. I'm a huge fan of their stuff. You've seen me use a ton of their iPad and MacBook accessories. I'm a sucker for cognac brown leather accessories, and theirs are definitely some of the finest. There's not a whole lot to say about this band. What you see is what you get. Premium quality and very comfortable to wear. If I had to name a downside, it is that the perfect fit might be a little harder to find because this is leather, so it doesn't stretch whatsoever. The same is true for these next watch bands, by the way, that can also be worn to formal events, but look really cool in a casual setting as well. I love steel watch bands. Even when I was wearing my analog watches, stainless steel was my go-to band, and these do remind me of some of my old watches. Starting off with a very sleek looking one by Casekoo, this one is called the Monolink. It's a stainless steel silver edition, and it is the slimmest one of the bunch. It's water and sweat resistant, and it has a butterfly clasp to close it. It looks great because you can barely see where it closes. It looks like a continuous loop, but the downside is that it's hard to figure out how many links you need to remove to get the best possible fit. So the installation process is a little bit cumbersome, but with that said, once it's done, it's a one-time deal. You'll never have to worry about it again. This is brushed metal, so it's prone to scratches, just something to keep in mind. This next steel band is made by a company called Sandmark, and it's one of my personal favorites in terms of looks. It's made out of grade 2 titanium, so it's very durable, and it matches the aesthetic of the watch perfectly. It is waterproof, and because it's titanium, it's extremely lightweight. Like the other steel bands, it comes with the necessary tools, so you can easily adjust the band on your own. You don't need to take it into a shop. I like this clasp a little bit better than the Casekoo, and the links are also bigger, so it's not as fidgety to find the right size. But on the flip side, smaller links means more precision. And that is the only downside of this watch, because I feel like the ideal size for me is just a tad too tight, but adding a link makes it way too loose. So I should have something in between, but that option isn't there. All in all, this is a really nice watch band and one of the best looking ones for me. By the way guys, I'm deliberately not putting any prices on screen as they do tend to fluctuate, but I did put links to all the different bands down in the description, so if you want to know the current prices, just have a check. Oh, and while you're down there, a sub to the channel would be much appreciated. Right, moving on to the last of our steel bands, and this is the Nomad one. This is a company most of you will know from their premium leather phone and desk accessories. This one is made from aluminum, but they managed to keep it really light. The materials are waterproof, but I wouldn't recommend taking an aluminum watch swimming, let alone to the ocean. They do make a steel version and a titanium one as well, although that one is significantly more expensive. I love the matte texture on this one, makes it match really well with the Ultra, and it has a bit more of a modern look to it. The clasp is also really interesting because this is the only one of the steel bands that closes magnetically. Again, comes with all the tools you need to adjust it, but it does have larger links, so getting the perfect fit will be a little bit harder. Staying with Nomad for a bit, they make these really cool colored rubber bands that sit between the Alpine band and the Ocean band. I love that they make an orange one because I do like the way that looks, but this one can be taking swimming since it's rubber. Also, I like the innovative design of the closure pin. It's comfortable enough to wear all day. The only downside for me is that it's a little slimmer than the Ocean band and the Alpine loop. I personally do prefer wider bands since the watch is pretty chunky, but all in all, this is a great looking and very practical band. Comes in different colors as well, like this funky yellow one that I'm wearing today. Now, if you want a really light band that stands out, I can recommend this carbon fiber one by Pitaka. The ultra slim design is very much in line with the way they designed their phone cases, and you can definitely tell it's a Pitaka band. It's very flat, so you need to be really into low profile bands, but it does look pretty cool. This one also comes with a magnetic clasp and of course the necessary adjustment tools. So guys, there you have it, some of my favorite bands of this moment. If you enjoyed the video, please go one of these, it really does help the channel. Subscribe for more content. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one.